Check out this waifu video. Every type of anime waifu explained.
A waifu in denial is a tsundere, but an easily flustered waifu, that's a bokodere. Not to be confused with
I've never heard of that before.
Socially angry, but an easily flustered waifu, that's a bokodere. Not
I think
to be
I need the
confused
details.
with socially angry.
What? Simon says you heard P-O-E-K? Whenever you say P-O-E, I want to say P-O-E instead of whatever the word that sounds like that says P-O-E. When Sai types P-O-E, it's P-O-E. It's not a po. Poke. So it is similar to how I say it. It is similar to how I say it. Saiden and then P-O-E is just a P-O-E.
Anxious waifu, because that's a dandere. But if it's a timid dandere, then it's actually a hajidere. And do not mess with a scheming waifu. That's an utsudere. Sometimes a love-struck waifu is just a harmless bakadere, but then it grows sweet and psychotic in love, and that's a yandere. Now, a disturbed yandere is no longer just a yandere.
This is too fast of a crash course for me.
If she's full-on gloomy, then it's a tsundere, and a small tsundere is just a daddy. Obviously, there are many waifu types, like the emotionless kudere, or a princess complex. There are many waifu types, like the emotionless kudere, or a princess complex himidere. Other waifus could be a god complex kamidere, or a perfect yandere, or a teasing erodere.
This video, I didn't realize this is the crash course. We can get the 14-minute video. You're not going to remember this. I think I maybe remembered one or two other ones. How come why is Holo a tsundere? This is why we only pay attention to the major ones, because there are too many and they're too adjacent.
Do things. A waifu blushing a lot is a bodere. Lots of notice me senpai vibes makes a dere-dere. And a waifu that likes to tease is a bodere. Lots of
Vivian
notice me
blushes
senpai
a lot.
vibes makes a
This is what people were saying Vivian was
dere-dere.
Dere-dere.
And a waifu that likes to tease
I can't
is a
pronounce that.
hyakusudere.
That's why
Here
it
are
sounds
some
weird.
bonus waifus. This is a holding hands needs protection.
Oh, Holo is the shrin. Oh, not the tsundere, the shrindere. You think they're just adding words to dare? Sideways right, says Roy. It does help to know the actual prefix, because you just add the dare to the end. Like Hime is princess.
Waifu. This is a headpat waifu. This is
headpat
waifus making
waifu?
blushes. This is a jealous waifu giving you intense glare.
Amelia.
This is a waifu where you need to buy a new bed afterwards.
What
You
ocean
get me?
waifu? Every anime Dere-Type explained in 14 minutes.
Type refers to the behavior
Here's
that an
the-
anime character exhibits toward their love
Here's the
interest
more
and how they
detailed
react
one.
differently before and after falling in love. The suffix dere basically means love, so when you have it twice
Maybe
in the
this
same
one-
word,
maybe
you
I'll
get a
actually learn
character
something
who is
from this one.
completely love-struck and does not hide their romantic feelings. They are open about their
I
intentions
guess this is
to
our
form a
Vivian.
relationship,
The
often hoping that their
Dere-Type.
love interest will reciprocate their affection. Tsundere. A tsundere is one of the most common archetypes. This character acts standoffish, distant, and combative to their love interest as a way of concealing their feelings of love
This
for
is a
them.
real video.
However, when they start to grow closer to their love interest, they will gradually give up their denial and be more honest and affectionate to them. Kudere. A kudere appears calm and expressionless most of the time, but is secretly hiding a cute and loving side that suddenly slips out when their love interest is around. They tend to be reserved and have a cold,
see why people like the
uninterested
kuderes.
attitude to those who aren't their love interest. Dandere. Dandere is a term for a character who is extremely silent and timid, but will become sweet and
Dandere.
talkative to their love interest. They won't go out of their way to engage with any other characters. It's also pretty typical for this
Welcome
character
back,
type to be
Shiosage.
suffering from severe social anxiety and to
Is that like homie? Cool. Ah, cool short for cool. I see.
depend on their
Because
love
it's a
interest to help
kudere.
them overcome it. Yandere. Yanderes are another common type.
We
They
all
have
know
such a
about the
strong
yanderes.
devotion and
Well, they showed Komi
admiration
in
for
this
their
part.
love interest that it becomes mentally unstable. They are obsessed with their love and may even
is
be
the Doki
violent to
Doki
those who
Literature
could
Club.
jeopardize the relationship. They don't care about how their behavior affects others, including their love interest, because of how entangled they are in their own feelings. You know what they say, Can't spell psychotic without hot. Bakadere. As baka basically means idiot, a bakadere is a character who lacks common sense and is oblivious to their surroundings. They are often kind and innocent by nature and use their weird and goofy antics to win the affection of their love interest. Bachandere. A bachandere is pretty much the rich kid who thinks they're superior to everyone else. They like to flaunt their wealth or status in front of others. When it comes to their love interests, they become very protective and try to use their status to help their love interest in any possible way. Bokodere. A bokodere is a type of tsundere who lashes out and physically assaults their love interest in order to hide their shyness and true feelings. They basically go into full fight or flight mode around their crush and somehow pick fight every single time. However, as they become more accustomed to their love interest's presence, they will ultimately give up the whole 1-2 Mayweather act. Byokadere. Byokadere is a term for a character who is essentially a dere-dere at heart, but they're confined by an illness or physical disability. They might be bedridden, use a wheelchair, or just need some extra assistance. Despite their weakened state, they become more optimistic and energetic when their love interest is around. Darudere.
I feel like these are very, very specific subsets.
A Darudere is a character with a dull personality who seemingly never wants to have any fun or excitement in life. They complain when their love interest asks them to do anything fun, but typically say yes anyway because, you know, at least they're spending time with their crush. After enough time, they realize that they, in fact, do enjoy spending time with their crush and will start to show a more happy and caring side. Dere-Dere. A Dere-Dere is essentially a reverse tsundere. They act kind and caring on the outside to conceal their ulterior motives and feelings of hatred. They act behind the scenes to use their crush for their own personal gain. Once they realize that they actually do love their crush, they want total ownership and will manipulate them to make that happen. Erodere. The prefix in erodere is derived from erotic. This is a character who puts up a front as an erotic person to hide their romantic feelings. Kind of like reverse psychology in a way. In reality, this type is more vulnerable and romantic than they let on, and will become embarrassed about their initial behavior after experiencing true affection from their crush. Yandere. Now if you thought bokoderes are extreme, then oh boy! A Yandere is a tsundere subtype who lashes out at their love interest by shooting at them to hide their true feelings. To say they go into fight or flight mode is an understatement. This is war mode as far as I'm concerned.
Have you come into Welcome Azeroth? You literally shoot them?
However, despite actively using life-threatening force against their crush, they don't really want to hurt them. So if you're the crush in this situation, you better hope that they become honest with you ASAP.
Yikes.
A Gudere is a character who stops at nothing to obtain whatever they think their love interest wants to have. Obviously, they're hoping that this behavior either sparks or increases the love that their crush has for them. Yandere. This one is a pretty specific form of a tsundere. Yanderes are commanding officer characters who go full drill sergeant mode and berate their love interest to hide their feelings of love toward them. I think the gun part is...
This one should be just the other one, the one where you shoot them. And then it would make a lot more sense and easier to remember. The gun doesn't actually mean gun in Japanese.
It's more related to how these characters usually have a military type of status, but I don't know, this one's pretty weird. Himedere. A Himedere is a female character of noble status who initially expects her love interest to shower her with affection without giving much in return. It starts off pretty one-sided, and they feel that this is deserved because of their inflated ego. However, they eventually realize that they were being too hard on their love interests and will start doing affectionate things for them as well. Hinedere. A Hinedere is a cynical character who has nihilistic worldviews. The prefix hine means twisted, which makes sense considering these characters most certainly don't start out with happy belief systems. They are cold-hearted and arrogant and are easily annoyed by others, even their love interest at first. However, once they spend enough time with their love interest, they learn to enjoy life and change their mindset. Kamidere. Kamideres are divine being characters who are very arrogant and self-centered. They initially look down upon their love interest and have overpowered supernatural abilities. However, they are eventually kind to their love interest and develop respect for them. Kanedere. Kanedere.
This really does feel like you add dere onto anything, and then it can form a character subset. What about the... Oops. See, each one of these
is a term for a character.
Categorizing Western media characters with Dere-Types might be your new favorite thing. Let's just pick Whatever word you want, and they can add dere onto it. Welcome back, Vok.
Who is only attracted to their love interest if they have some sort of wealth, power, or social status. Basically, your classic case of a gold digger. However, after spending more time with their love interest, they start loving them for who they really are instead. Kekandere. A Kekandere is a specific type of the Dere-Type archetype. They are love-struck characters who express their desire to get married right away to their love interest. Sometimes this is after just meeting them or right after they realize they're in love. They believe in fate and would get married to their crush before even going on a first date with them. Kichidere. Kichideres are characters who act completely insane, but when it comes to their love interest, their behavior is surprisingly reasonable and normal. As you might have guessed, a Kichidere's love interest can typically help them become more mentally stable over time.
Who is this three-eyed? Who's the three-eyed girl? The way he pronounces some of those words, are they not the correct? I see his pronunciations are a bit off. I see. Every Dere-Type explained in 14 minutes. So there are some quite long videos explaining the various different types. He's having a good time. She's from One Piece.
Rude and harsh toward their love interests in hopes that this crush will better themselves. However, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Although a Kiridere may not be trying to be rude and is only looking out for their love interests, the person often feels hurt by their words instead of being inspired to change. Kiridere. A Kiridere has two distinct sides to them. Around most people, they are serious and responsible people that are known for acting maturely. However, they have another side that they show in private to their love interests, which is more irresponsible and emotional. They really enjoy the company of their love interest because it relieves them of their pressure to be perfect and
I don't think I remembered any of these. I remember the gun one.
The term masodere takes its prefix from the word masochist, which refers to someone who derives romantic gratification from their own pain and humiliation. It should be noted that this type isn't formed out of some sort of self-hatred, but rather a desire to be controlled by the one they love. Nemuidere. This is a character who likes to sleep a lot. A bit of a strange character trait here, as it really isn't related to their behavior around their love interest. When they're awake, they make sure to treat their love interest kindly, but that's about it. Yandere. These are your anime cat girls, and I'm
There's actually a sleeping one?
Sure y'all have probably
What did I say?
a lot.
No, wrong one.
A bit of a strange character trait here, as it really isn't related to their behavior around their love interest. When they're awake, they make sure to treat their love interest kindly, but that's about it.
Because the rest of the time they're asleep.
These are your anime cat girls, and I'm sure y'all have probably seen and cringed.
There's a one called Yandere. I guess this one's easy to remember. All the anime cat girls.
They behave like a cat and expect to be loved in the same manner that someone would love a cat. They aren't actually cats. Sometimes their cat ears are a headband, and sometimes they're real. Don't ask me why. Onidere. An Onidere is an anime character who is cruel and will pretend to hate their love interest and treat them badly to keep a reputation of being feared. However, when no one is looking, they are loving and caring to them. They don't want their love life to make them appear vulnerable, despite the fact that characters of this type are given some sort of monstrous superhuman strength. Ojidere. This is quite literally the male counterpart of a Himedere. They expect for their love interest to pamper them like royalty, but eventually show a more caring side. Ujodere. Ujodere is a term for a female character who is dignified and behaves with perfect manners, like a classic princess. However, they aren't to be confused with Himederes. They are kind and gentle by nature. They are the type who feels comfortable being themselves around their love interests,
they wrote the wrong one on top
to
of
maintain an elegant and formal appearance. Rindere. Rinderes have a cool, reserved personality. This also comes with being mature and dignified, similar to Ujoderes. They have a lot of confidence and exhibit a high degree of emotional control, but as you can probably guess, they open up around their love interests and show an affectionate side. Roshidere. Spoiler alert, this is a very specific type. This is a character who normally acts harsh and indifferent toward their love interest when speaking a shared language, but will say affectionate things in another language as a way to secretly let out their true feelings. They are Tsunderes who found a way to verbally express their romantic feelings rather than just letting it sit and
I wonder if there's a...
Sadodere. Derived
I guess
from
that
the
was the
word
1 minute
sadistic,
one.
Tsuderes enjoy playing with the feelings of their love interest by causing emotional pain and humiliating them. They get pleasure out of having control over their love interest's emotions and making them feel bad. However, they do genuinely care about them somehow, and often won't let anyone else tease them.
I see it's the maso and then the
Tsundere is a character who has died and become a ghost, but has an unsettled love interest back on Earth.
Wait,
this
what?
love interest is typically the reason why.
That's really specific. So you've died and then you come back.
These characters are ghosts rather than having passed on to the afterlife.
The Tom and Jerry.
And sometimes they are characters who got brought back to life but still hold on to certain supernatural abilities they had as a ghost, such as seeing other spirits. They can have pretty much any personality type, so you could only imagine how much of a dilemma being the love interest of a ghost could really become. Tsundere. This is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. These are characters with excessive pride and a grandiose sense of self.
This one's easy to remember.
A smug face that says, "I'm better than you," to get a reaction out of their love interest. They really just like to push their love interest buttons, and their behavior is usually more of a joke. Funny enough, when their Dere-side shows, they'll say things that imply to others that their love interest is superior as well. Tsundere. A Tsundere is a character who flirts with their love interest by teasing them and making suggestive remarks to get a flustered reaction. It's similar to the Tsundere, but the key difference is that they don't wish any harm to their love interest. They're just being playful.
What happened to the Japanese? Why are these all English words now? They just threw out the Japanese. This is really just use any words plus dairy. This has to be made up. Bro is just padding the word count at this point. All of these videos on the side are also many minutes long. 16, 13, 26. Where's the maid Dare? Let's see what we're almost done with the video.
Seriously,
so we'll see.
As a result of the teasing, they'll be quick to tone down the
Welcome back,
and become more of a Dere-Dere. Dere-Dere. Dere-Dere is a term for a character who gets really embarrassed around their love interest. They are often too love-struck to function properly around them. If their love interest talks to them,
what did Roy say? Bro ran out of Dare ideas like Koro ran out of rewards. No, at least he's padding them. At least he's adding on like an extra 10 different things at the end.
They might be too stunned to speak. However, with a little exposure.
Thank you, Waika, for the 7 months resub. Happy 7 months. To change my category to our just chatting. Thank you for the 7 months of support. Welcome back.
Therapy to their crush, they can overcome Tsundere. Tsundere often mistreat their love interest by harming them physically and emotionally to hide their true feelings.
I'm not sure if these things are actually real.
Weak, so they show their affection in limited quantity at first. Yandere. Yanderes are characters who are always saying yes or agreeing with almost everything their love interest says in order to not upset them. They straight up glaze everything their love interest does to avoid any potential conflict and stay lovey-dovey.
Even hope you're feeling a bit better.
Opinion, they choose to stay quiet about it. However, this desire to constantly give their love interest a massive skyscraper window of opportunity to manipulate them. Tsundere. Tsundere is a character who uses lies and tricks to win their love interest's heart. They make sure to cover up their wrongdoings to keep up a favorable appearance for their love interest.
Koro responded and gave us a 10 limited weapon character, 10 limited character pulls, 10 limited weapon pulls, and 10 standard pulls. And then they did kind of hint, oh, there might be more to come.
They may also sabotage others to grow their relationship. Eventually, they spill the beans once they trust their love interest enough, which understandably tends to spark an adverse reaction. Tsundere suffer from depression. They may outwardly show this, or they may not. With enough time around said love interest, they can heal from their prolonged sadness and become happier as a whole. Tsundere. An Tsundere is very loud and likes to annoy their love interest. They're known for straight up yapping about things they are passionate about. They're socially dense, but for some reason, their love interest may eventually find a certain charm to their personality. Yandere. A Yandere is a character who acts like a dog around their love interest. They are sometimes actual dogs, or part human, part dog, or 0% dog. If y'all know of any anime where there's a person who acts like this, please let me know so I can avoid it. Yandere. Yanderes are characters who are normally...
Hold, says Roy. Roy sent me the video. Next is Yandere. They already went over the Yandere.
Calm and collected, but become very flirtatious toward their love interest when intoxicated. Without that magic medicine coursing through their veins, they are hiding their feelings 100% of the time. They're typically trustworthy, well, as long as they don't have their car keys. But
so they need to drink to be able to express their true emotions. If Catdere is Yandere, why is Dogdere not not Woofdere? That is a good question. That's the things aside. Now we also have some. Oh, it is Woofdere, but woof is in Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, sometimes I think it gets confusing because they use like English words and then dairy. So one is wolf. I see.
That's pretty much the gist of this character type. Tsundere. Tsunderes are another one of those hyper-specific types. They express their feelings toward their love interest by shocking them with electricity, usually in a violent.
How do people even come up with these? I feel like you just take any like specific anime girl and then you can just make up a term based on the specific characteristics. A Tsundere by shocking their love interest. I feel like it is super specific.
Way. This can be used to condemn something their love interest did or to hide true feelings. So, assuming their crush hasn't flatlined yet from the electricity, they show a caring side most of the time. Tsundere. Tsundere is a term for a character who has turned into a zombie but remains affected.
Oh, like a zombie? Tsundere? How many girls have electric powers? I was thinking I don't remember any girls that have electric powers.
Affectionate toward their love interest. They have full intelligence and control over their actions, which feels very contradictory to how a zombie is supposed to behave, but you know, whatever. And that's about it. Also, be sure to like this, subscribe, and leave a video.
These are awfully specific, and I guess the beginning part had the bigger categories, and then they delved into the very, very, very specifics. After learning about all the Dere-Types, what do streamer think she would categorize under? I'm not 100% sure. It depends. Sweeter. We don't have a. I'm not sure if I actually learned all the types. I need like the condensed types. I need the 5-minute version, not the 1-minute version or the 14-minute version. I need a 5-minute. Why are these all so long? 26 minutes? 16 minutes? And then this is the crash course. I guess there's a 3. No one makes the 2. Maybe this one. Maybe this one goes over all the various things. To farm, I suppose that is true. You are incentivized to make your videos longer. Welcome back to hockey. Why is Neil Tyson as a thumbnail in the Dare video? I guess that's why that's the bait that makes you click into the video. Kurumi! Oh, I see these are the different. Unlike a Yandere, they're not motivated by their love for another. But what are they motivated by? Hey, I like the text descriptions. The Yandere. Wait, why is there a Vegeta? What? These are characters who behave rudely to hide their warm feelings. The Vegeta came out of nowhere. Vegeta, I guess, is a tsundere. I didn't even know that. Oh, these also have some specific characters. Tsundere. Melancholy characters who are depressed or upset because of a specific event. Tsundere. Oh, these are also a bit specific. Welcome, Mademoiselle Bear, to the stream. Good morning to Aina Nightfall. Vegeta was the first tsundere. These are all Yotel Dare. Everyone has different names. I see there are people. They do classify people with like their constant drinking of alcohol. This list is also a bit too advanced. Welcome from YouTube to Mademoiselle Bear to the stream. We're currently doing a special 3-year subathon celebration for my 3 years of streaming on Twitch. Holy, look inside. Oh, there are these are characters who like to sleep. This does seem to go into. I don't even know this Namu Dere. Does Namu mean sleeping? Oh, it does. Namu means sleepy in JP, so it's just sleepy plus Dere. Thank you for the happy anniversary message. Some of these were covered in the other thing. Spoiled people who think that they're better than anyone. Are there too many? I see this one also lists a bunch. But a bunch of these are also subcategories. Sweet rock, says Nick. It's time to watch. I wanted to watch this video.
Looking for some heavy hitter game titles coming out in